Gentlemen, start your engines.
Today is October 22nd, 2022. Late October always makes me personally think about racing at Rockingham. There are a handful of races and moments that come to my mind immediately, but the one that always strikes me first is the 1989 AC Delco 500. Mark Martin entered that race weekend third in the chase for the Winston Cup, only 128 points behind Rusty Wallace. He was in the midst of an incredible 20-race stretch that saw him finish second or third in eye-popping 10 times. The thing is, the veteran who had 113 starts to his name had yet to find victory lane in his career. How was that even possible that Mark Martin had yet to win? He was fast and getting faster by the week, but the luck was just not there. He qualified second and led 16 laps at Atlanta before blowing an engine. He lost a wheel at Sears Point, which led to the number 6 car rolling over and sending Mark home with a 31st place finish. He was leading at Daytona when Jeff Bodine made contact with Mark and sent him spinning around as the entire field passed by. The driver rocketed back through the field, taking the lead with under 5 laps left before running out of fuel and finishing 16th. After the race, Mark said it was one of the most depressing moments of his life and it hurt so bad. I can't blame him for that one. On October 8th in Charlotte, Mark was one of, if not the fastest car in the field. He was out front for 107 laps, but lost the lead to eventual race winner Ken Schrader with under 20 laps left. As soon as he passed us, I knew we were going to lose that race. 2 weeks later at Rockingham, Mark was interviewed by ESPN and seemed to have just a little bit more confidence. Our day is coming. We can't make it happen any sooner than it's going to, though. Would Rockingham finally be the track where the stars aligned and luck was on Mark's side? Mark qualified 7th and looked to be one of the better cars early on, but once again, it seemed like the top 2 drivers in points, Rusty Wallace and Dale Earnhardt, were the cars to beat. Those 2 drivers traded the lead multiple times over the first 3 quarters of the event, while Mark quietly took control a handful of times as well. As the laps went by, Mark's car seemingly got stronger and stronger. With a little less than 100 laps left, Mark was out in front comfortably, just ahead of Ken Schrader and Jeff Bodine, when a battle between Dale and Rusty sent Dale around. His car slid down the track and was plowed into by Sterling Marlin. It took Dale out of contention, but Rusty continued on. Following the restart, Mark continued in command of the race. A late race restart following a caution for Greg Sachs didn't deter Mark from his destiny, as he finally picked up his first career Winston Cup victory. He led 5 times for a total of 101 laps, including the final 77. It's hard to believe. All the years and all the hard work by so many people. All the near misses, all the sweat and hopes and tears. Now, I finally feel like my whole life is fulfilled. It's like I almost couldn't believe it would even happen. If there was one thing about the race that didn't really work out for the number 6 team, it's that Rusty recovered from going a lap down to finish second. Mark left the race still third in the standings, now 128 points back in the battle for the championship. Speaking of Rusty, Mark's win was incredibly popular in not only the stands but the garage too. I kind of got proud for him. I know how hard, how desperate he and his team have been and how hard they have tried to win. They have got to be proud, Rusty said after the race. Mark finished his breakout season third in points, but from there, the floodgates opened. He won 30 races over the next 10 years and ended his career with 40. That number was great enough for the 12th most in the modern era at the time of his retirement, a career that more than deservingly ended in the NASCAR Hall of Fame. This race will always hold a special place in my heart, as it was the last Winston Cup race held before I was born a few days later on October 30th, 1989. Mark also turned out to be the first driver that our family ever met when we saw him at an appearance in 1994. We saw Mark's car at that appearance, at Hershey Park, and also a car dealership in the area. As I noted in some of our previous videos, our dad passed away on August 30th. He was a huge fan of Mark and always had some sort of number 6 shirt or hat in his closet. We are still lucky to have some of them today. After he passed away, my mom was going through some of his stuff and found the tickets from our first driver appearance. I can't put into words how cool it was to know that he saved just a little bit of history from one of our firsts. Thank you all for taking the time to watch our videos. If you really love what you're seeing, please make sure to subscribe to our channel.